We're learning Nishmas Etta, Ahuva, Yaakov. Nedarim, Perek, Daled, Mishna Ches. So there are two additional ways that if someone says that he's not going to have hana from someone else, we allow him to have hana. The second of the third cases is they're walking on the road, and he has nothing to eat, so he really needs to get food from the mader. The mader could give it to a third person, and the third person could give it to the mudder, and that would be mutter. And the final case is if there's no one else with them. So now you can't do the Eitzah of Chemini, which was in the last Mishnah, and you can't do the Eitzah at the beginning of this Mishnah of giving it to someone else. So you could still have an Eitzah, Maniach Halasela, you could put it on a rock, Oyal Anet Geder, or on a fence, but Oyman, you could say, the Mader says, Hareim Mufkarin L'chol Misha Yachveitz, it's Hefker, and then the Mudder could take it, Halon Noita V'Oicha, and he could eat it. On this last one, Rabbi Yosi, Oisei Rabbi Yosi, Asers, the Gemara says two reasons. Rabbi Yochanan says because Rabbi Yosi held Hefker is Kimatana. We normally look at Hefker that it loses the Rishus of the Mafker right away. But Rabbi Yosi held that no, it's just like a Matana, that it doesn't go into the Rishus of the Mekabel until he picks it up. So the Mader is benefiting the Mudder by giving it to him, even though it's going through a Hefker. And the Maskana, the Gemara, Rava says that the reason is it's a Gzeira Mishum Matanas Beis Chayrin, which is going to be the Mishnah in the end of the fifth parak. And over there it's a case that someone wasn't really mafker it, rather he said that he's giving it to someone else only for the specific purpose of having the mudder to have hana from it. But he wasn't completely being mafker it, so we're afraid over here also, if you put it on a cell or a gather, we're afraid that you're going to come to give it in a way that it's not totally leaving your rishus. One discussion in the Rishonim on this Mishnah is, in these three eitzes, is a dafka mutter in a case where you're stuck, where it's ein lo ma yechel. So the Rosh on the Sugya says in the second case that lehitiru elu kishe lo ma yechel lamanda. We learn from here that all haramas, the tricks that we're doing over here, is aser bein birab and bein biyachid shaloi hitiru ela b'shas adchak. They're only mutter b'shas adchak she'ein lo ma yechel. So it's mashma, and the Rosh before in the first case said it was only ein lo, even though the Mishnah said ein lo ma yechel, it's just orcha the milsanaka. So in the first case, the case of the Chemini, he held that you could do that l'chatchila, but in the second and third case, it's dafkev, it's ein lo ma yechel. Taisus and Baba Kama, Daf Kuf Tes holds that even in the first case, it's Dafka Mutter if it's Ein Lo Ma Yochel, and Taisus and Ksuvis on the Fa'ayin Abeis held that it's Mutter in all the cases, even if it's Yesh Lo Ma Yochel. Perek Hey Mishnah Aleph, Hashutfin Shenodru Hanoah Zeh Mizeh, Shutfin that were Mader Hanoah from each other, Asur and Likanes L'Chatzer, you're not let it go into the Chatzer. Neither the Shutfin could go into the Chatzer. This Mishnah is going like the Shita that we said earlier in a previous parak, Rabbi Eliezer Shita, that Vitor is Aser b'mudar hana, that this is considered hana. And the Tanakama held that since this is a chatar shotem, we each said that you can't have hana from the other one. So there's actually a discussion in the Rishonim in the round why, how you're able to do that. Ein adam moised over shein shaloi, but it works. And therefore, the other one, neither of them could go into the Chatzar. The Gemara Bava Kama explains that they're arguing about whether Yesh Beira or Ein Beira. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov held Yesh Beira, and therefore he could go in. Another discussion in the Rishonim is that we paskin over here like Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, and Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov holds Yesh Beira, but we paskin Ein Beira, so that's a very big ran over here. He has 4 pshatim. The Gemara says that this is dafka by a chotzer she'ein boy kedei chaluka, meaning that there's not 4 amas in front of each house and an additional 4 amas for each one. But if it's yesh boy kedei chaluka, which is something that will be eventually split up, then kuli alma, even Eliezer ben Yaakov is maskim that we're afraid one is going to force the other one to do the chaluka, and therefore we don't say breira that each one could go into their own thing, and they're both aser. The Ran brings up Machlokes Rishonim, the Rashba and the Rambam, if that's even after they make the chalukah, is it still going to be aser? The Rambam says no, once they make the chalukah, then each one could have either go into their own chatzar. Mishnah says, "V'shneihem asurim lahamid shamrei chayim v'taner legadol tarnagolim." Over here, everyone agrees that it's asur, similar to yesh b'kidei chalukah, because over here you could force the other one to not to use that, and therefore, by me allowing you to use it, is considered that you're getting hana. So the beginning of the Mishnah was talking about that they each said you can't have hana from the other one. This case is only one said you can't have enough from the, let's say Reuven said you can't have enough from Shimon. So then, lo yikanes l'chatzer, that one can't go in. Yaakov, oimer yachol oimer l'seich sheli ani nichnas ve'ini nichnas l'seich shalach. Same l'shitase, he holds yesh ber, and therefore it's mutter. Why are we saying this case? Because the next line, the koifin is hanoider limkar es chalkei. So if Reuven said that I'm not going to have hana from Shimon, we're afraid that if Shimon's going in, which he's allowed to, then Reuven's also eventually going to go in. So therefore, we would force Reuven to sell it to Shimon. But the Gemara speaks out that that's dafka in that direction. But if Shimon said to Reuven, you can't have enough from my chatzer, and then we don't say that from the fact that Shimon's using it, we're afraid that Reuven's going to come to use it also, so we should force Reuven to sell his chelik, because it's not Reuven's fault. He wasn't the one that initiated this nether. He's an honest, and therefore we wouldn't force Reuven to sell it b'chiyagam.